In his address, President Barack Obama paid special attention to Africa as one of the regions that are impoverished, a region where world leaders should have new strategies so that resources that are being pumped into it have more lasting impacts within and outside.
Development is threatened if we do not recognize the incredible dynamism and opportunity of today's Africa. Hundreds of millions of Africans still struggle in the face of grinding poverty and deadly disease, daily assaults on their lives and dignity. But I visited Africa recently, and what I saw gave me hope, and I know should give you hope, because that continent has made impressive gains in health and education. It is one of the fastest growing regions of the world with a rising middle class. And during my travels, Africans, especially young Africans, tell me they don't just want aid, they want trade. They want businesses. They want investment. So I call on the world to join us as we mobilize billions of dollars in new trade and investment and development in Africa. And that includes Power Africa, our initiative to bring electricity and greater opportunity to more than 60 million African homes and businesses. If we get Africa fulfilling its full potential, that will help the entire global economy. Everyone here will be helped. It's not a zero-sum game. We are invested in their success.
Then his pet subject, entrepreneurship and business, as a key to unlocking the potential of impoverished nations.
It means breaking cycles of dependence by helping people become more self-sufficient, not just giving people fish, but teaching them how to fish. That's the purpose of development. Number one, development is threatened by bad governance. Today, we affirm what we know to be true from decades of experience. Development and economic growth that is truly sustainable and inclusive depends on governments and institutions that care about their people, that are accountable, that respect human rights and deliver justice for everybody and not just some. So in the face of corruption that siphons billions away from schools and hospitals and infrastructure into foreign bank accounts, governments have to embrace transparency and open government and rule of law. And combating illicit finance must be a global effort because it is part of our development effort. And citizens and civil society groups must be free to organize and speak their mind and work for progress, because that's how countries develop. That's how countries succeed.
The other highlight from President Barack Obama's speech is the fight against HIV/AIDS. He said the epidemic is a threat to the attainment of the goals that have just been adopted, and he called for more commitments in fighting the disease.
As more countries take ownership of their HIV/AIDS programs, the United States is setting two new bold goals. Over the next 2 years, we'll increase the number of people that our funding reaches so that nearly 13 million people with HIV/AIDS get life-saving treatment. And we'll invest $300 million to help achieve a 40% reduction in new HIV infections among young women and girls in the hardest hit areas of sub-Saharan Africa. And I believe we can do that. The first AIDS-free generation.
So commitments upon commitments at the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly, and observers say this is the time world leaders need to speak with one voice more than ever before in order to achieve those goals. For KTN News, I'm Chammwada at the United Nations headquarters in New York.